So, one of the things that I like to do on this channel is do somewhat decent tech and gaming tech accessory reviews. And so that's what I'm going to do today for a bit. Um, Except I'm going to do it live. And so if you're watching the live recording, thank you so much for watching. Um, if you're actually live with me now, then thanks for being here live with me. I really appreciate you as well. But today I wanted to make a quick video talking about two of the hottest Nintendo Switch handheld, I guess you could say decks or controllers, right? Um, the Nintendo Switch is pretty much in its last year of relevancy. I mean, if you could say relevancy. Um, it's been out since 2017, 2018, and it's just been, you know, um, a breath of fresh air for Nintendo, especially coming after the Wii U, which bombed it, but the Switch knocked it out of the park. And so, with the success of the Switch and all of the games that came out for it and things like that, and kind of how it revolutionized um, console gaming in general, so many accessories came out for it. And even still in its last year, accessories are still coming out for it. And so that's what I'm going to talk about today. So I'm going to talk about two of the hottest basically controllers or decks for the Switch, and that's going to be the MobaPad M6 HD, the black version, and the cracked Nitro Deck Plus, not to be confused with the original version, because there's an original version and this is their second version. It didn't replace the first one, but this one does have a few more features and um, has a little bit more bells and whistles, if you want to, if you can say that. But I do have some points, so let's get right into it. The first thing is going to be the pricing. So straight up, both of them are $79.99, and they're not cheap by any means. Definitely expensive accessories for the Switch. And so if you're a serious Switch gamer, like you use your Switch a lot handheld, then this makes sense for you. But if you just dock your Switch, then this may not make too much sense for you. But they did, add some features where it might make sense. You can still get use of it even if you just dock it. And I think that's something smart of them is to make it useful even if you dock it. But the next point that I have is the packaging. And so the Nitro Deck packaging is nice. I mean, for me, packaging when I buy anything is unless it's a bag of chips, if I'm spending a lot of money on something like tech, the packaging for me is important. And so I think that Nitro Deck, that cracked, actually knocked it out of the park with the packaging. They definitely put some consideration into it. They got some nice, you have this nice kind of like cover here, and then you open it up, and it's kind of like holographic, you know, um, display on it. It's nice. It's definitely nice. When you open it up, the Nitro Deck is going to be here waiting for you, and then they actually have an app where you can upload your product, and it'll register into the app, and it'll tell you which number in the manufacturing count your particular unit is, right? Because the way that they angle it and market it is that these are collector pieces, right? They're valuable, they're collector pieces, and they're limited. That's a good thing about live. You get to see all the blunders and all the mistakes. Um, but the thing with cracked products, if you go on their website, is that all of their products are limited count. They're manufactured in a limited quantity, and so when you scan it, it's a really nice kind of experience where you get to see which number yours is out of the bunch. And so that's pretty cool. I think the packaging on the cracked Nitro deck is cool, especially as a collector. It looks nice on the displays. You can see I do have 4 of these in the back because I have issues. By the way, this is not sponsored. I didn't get paid to do this. I bought this stuff with my own money, and I'm just doing this for the channel to, you know, out of the passion and the hobby. And so the packaging for the MobaPad, on the other hand, it's all right. You know, it's not bad. It's a decent box that still looks good on the display. If you are a collector, then this is, you know, definitely all right. The MobaPad comes from China, and you can kind of feel that Chinese sort of I don't know, representation or feel to the packaging. When you buy Chinese products, the font is always like, it looks like it came out of Microsoft Word or Microsoft Paint. And you can kind of see that here. Like there's not really any kind of artistic feel or thought put into the packaging. You can definitely see that with the MobaPad packaging. MobaPad comes from China, from Guangzhou Xinjiang Culture Limited. And cracked comes from the US. So if that matters to anybody, then it is what it is. So I just wanted to point that out. The second point is going to be the quality. So the quality on, start the Nitro deck, the quality on the Nitro deck is top notch. Like it really gives you that sort of professional feel, and that's also what they market this as, is you know, this is for pro gamers. This is for professional gamers. Gamers that care about the experience when they're gaming, how the Switch feels on their hands, how you know, the quality of the products that they're using, things like that. They nailed that. They hit it out of the park with that. And the quality in general for this is solid. I must say it is solid, 100%. It feels like what you paid for. It doesn't feel like something cheap made out of you know, made out of some cheap warehouse, some cheap factory. Like this thing right here has a really good feel to it on the hands. And if you like that kind of thing, then, you know, the cracked Nitro deck might be something that you might be into, right? So something to note is that the joysticks are Hall effect. So what that means is you won't get any stick drift on your joysticks. Yeah, it is pretty comfortable to use, really. I might have to get you one, man, for Christmas. No, but I'm just kidding, Billy. So what that means is basically you won't get any stick drift on the joysticks. So sometimes when you have a controller for a long time, the sticks will start to go, you know, in their own way without you doing anything. And that's what Hall effect sticks are. They're basically they have this kind of magnet, made with like magnets, so that they go right back to where they're supposed to be, and they don't drift to where they don't, you know, they don't need to be going, right? So very good for longevity, things like that. It'll last you a very long time. The D-pad on it is solid. The buttons have this kind of like tactile, I think the audios are here. The buttons have this tactile kind of feel to it. And the shoulder buttons are clicky like a mouse button. So I don't know if mine are wearing out, but yeah, the L and R are somewhat clicky like a mouse. So that's nice. And yeah, so you basically just put your Switch in here, and because the Switch is a tablet, so you just put your Switch in here. And you dock it, right? So it has a feel of it being one unit. It has a feel of it just being one thing, because with the Switch, when you're connecting it to so many different things, Depending on what you're using, it can feel loose or fidgety. Something like the Split Pad Pros. So when you're connected to these, you can feel the looseness in these, and you know, from a gamer user experience, it sucks. Honestly, it sucks. Imagine gaming and it's like loose. It's, you know, doesn't feel great. It sort of feels like the ROG Ally X, where it's one unit. It's just one thing. And that's what it reminds me of. Or maybe like the Switch Lite, which is what a lot of people like about the Switch Lite, is that it's one thing. It's not, you know, a tablet that you connect to things. They also have some back buttons that you can assign your buttons to. So if you want A or B to be one of these buttons, then you can use that. And it also has a pretty much a mount, or not a mount, a stand. So you can, you know, set it on your table like that. If you have a controller, you could play it like that. You can also use this as a controller, right? So if you dock the Switch to the TV, you can dock the Switch to the TV and you have this. You can use this as a wireless controller. So that's one of the features. I mean, for $79.99, I would hope it comes with features like that, and this does. There's some concern with users that the back scratches the back of the Switch, but I personally haven't had that experience with the Nitro Deck, so, but just beware that that's, you know, something that people talk about. But overall, this thing is, from a build quality perspective, it's 10 out of 10. It's A1. It's, you know, amazing. To go into the features on the MobaPad has a lot of similar features. So there's back buttons, there's also clicky shoulder buttons, and all of the buttons actually feel clicky, like a mouse, right? That's similar, kind of like mouse click feel to it. So if you're like a computer guy or just a tech guy, that may be something that stands out. What else? So yeah, 2 back buttons here. You got your regular shoulder buttons. This one only has 2 back buttons compared to the 4 back buttons on this one. It doesn't have a stand because you just connect it to your Switch. So it just slides into the rails of your Switch like this. However, you can take these off of your Switch. You can take these off of your Switch and you can use them wirelessly as well. One really nice thing about the MobaPad is a couple of things, actually. Well, they actually threw in these white pieces, so you can actually, if you want to change it to white, you can do that. There's a little button right here that you just, kind of like an opening. You basically just open it like this, right? And open it like that, and then you can just pop the white one to it. So if you want to switch it up or you want to do black and white, you can do that too. Another cool thing is that it has this kind of concave D-pad that was made pretty popular by the Series X, the Xbox Series X controller. But if you want, you can actually change it to the regular, more traditional D-pad. And but there's one more thing. But wait, there's more. There's more. By the way, if you're watching this live, I appreciate you if you can hit that like and subscribe button for more videos like this. I definitely appreciate you guys. So yeah, you can basically change the D-pad to the more traditional one, take this one out, and then just add the traditional standard D-pad. And you just gotta find which one it is, and it clicks just like that. So depending on, you know, your taste, your D-pad taste, then that's one really cool thing. They also have these parts here. So might be hard to see, but if you play fighting games, or if you play like Smash or Street Fighter, something like that, then you can change these. I actually haven't even done that yet, but it looks, let me see if I can do it on live while I'm with you guys here on stream. I'm not gonna do it now because it's gonna waste too much time, but you basically just change this here, and if you're a fighter, you know, you like fighting games and you need that kind of really angled D-pad, or I'm sorry, joystick to be angled, then this might be for you. So that's something that the cracked Nitro Deck does not have. So one key difference right there for sure. Both have the Hall effect sticks, so both of these won't catch stick drift, right? Okay, so that's some of the features there. I did want to point out in terms of quality on this, the quality is really good. Is really good. When you dock it, it feels really good. Like it doesn't have that loose feel that you get from something like the Split Pad Pros. However, I do kind of have this weird kind of experience with this side for some reason. It kind of pushes in, and I feel that when I'm gaming on it, it just pushes in. Like I have somewhat bigger hands, not like super huge hands, but it is something that kind of bothers me. I'm super ADHD, super like nitpicky with things, and that is something that definitely stands out. Yeah, so just wanted to point that one out. So far we have the packaging, the features, the quality. So from the quality perspective, MobaPad and the cracked Nitro Deck are both solid A1. I would give the Nitro Deck a 10, and I will give the MobaPad a 9, if I'm being honest. And what I like more about the Nitro Deck is that it's more protective of your Switch, right? Like you dock your Switch in there, and the back of your Switch is fully protected, whereas this one is not. It's basically butt naked on the back. You can see the ass of the Switch here, and it's vulnerable and prone to getting all of the smudges, the stains, anything that's out. Your Switch is gonna get it, and you have to use your Switch's native stand. So that's one thing. I mean, depending on who you are and what's important to you, that's one thing to note there. If you sit it on the table, though, it doesn't touch the surface that it's on. So the handles do kind of protect it from being flat on the table or the surface that you have it on. So that's that right there. The next point I wanted to bring up is the aesthetic. So it's really no secret that the Nitro Deck has a really nice aesthetic. Just from the build design, the build quality, all of those things. This thing, just looking at it, makes me want to play it, right? I have a Steam Deck, I have an ROG Ally X, I have the Legion Go, and when I first saw the Nitro Deck, in a weird way, and this sounds crazy, this was one of the things, just looking at it, the aesthetic part was one of the things that made me want to play the Switch again, right? Because the Switch, what we're used to on the Switch are cheap Joy-Cons. Joy-Cons that are expensive, $70 Joy-Cons, right? Completely uncomfortable, not great to use and things like that. So this thing is sexy. This thing is straight up sexy. This thing looks dope. This thing, all of those things. And the aesthetic on the MobaPad, I mean, there's not really much to this. Again, it doesn't protect your Switch like the Nitro Deck does, but from playing it and from holding it and playing it, it's super comfortable. Which brings me to my next point of comfortability. And this one may ruffle some feathers, and you know, if MobaPad's watching this, and if Cracked is watching this, because Cracked has commented on one of my videos, so shout out to them. Pretty cool that a manufacturer has watched one of my videos. The manufacturer of this product has watched one of my videos. I want to talk about comfortability. So the comfortability is, you know, both of them are comfortable. Both of them are comfortable, but things start to change the longer that you're holding these things. The longer that you're holding these things, your hands are gonna inevitably start to like ache a little bit. It doesn't matter if it's, you know, it doesn't matter if it's an RG Ally X. It doesn't matter if it's the cracked Nitro Deck. It doesn't matter if it's the MobaPad. Your hand is gonna ache eventually. Now it's just a matter of when. And so with the Nitro Deck, my hands start to ache relatively quick, and depending on the game I'm playing, my hands start to ache relatively quick. And I think it's because of how the joystick and the buttons are straight up just one line down, right? Like they're just, one is above, one is below, straight up. There's no kind of angular design. And to kind of give you some context, if you see here, you see how it's angled, right? Mike is more of a pro controller guy. I'm right there with you, Mike. I'm right there with you. So with it being angled, there's way more comfortability on that when you're playing for longer time periods. And comfortability wise, this thing wins straight up. It doesn't mean that the cracked is uncomfortable. It just means that you might have to just sit it for a while and you know, kind of take a little bit of a break sometimes. I personally game, you know, an hour, 2 hours at a time. Sometimes it depends. So yeah, I mean, let me know what you guys think in the comment section about the comfortability. If you have the MobaPad, if you have the cracked, how long does it take you to get uncomfortable for your hands to ache? Or do you even get uncomfortable? Because I've seen some people, you know, don't have this problem at all. It just depends on your hand size, I guess. Personally, I think the Nitro Deck for me is better for RPG games where I'm just, you know, pressing a button and going to from one place to one place and things like that. If I'm doing platforming, right, I think this was one of the games that did it for me is Super Mario Brothers Wonder, right? A platforming game where you need to be on your P's and Q's, you need to be running, you need to be jumping, and it did not take me long to feel uncomfortable, which kind of sucked because I was on the back of an Uber heading to the airport, and it kind of just ruined it for me. So RPG games for me is what the Nitro Deck is great for, and I would probably prefer to do platforming and things like that on this one. And so maybe, hopefully, Crack can make one that's more angular, where the buttons and the joystick is more angular, more angled. Here's another example on this PC handheld, the cracked Nitro Deck, also angled as well. Billy, what do you think about the angles? How do you feel about the angles, man? Yeah, so I mean, same thing, right? Like the D-pad and the joystick is also angled, right? Whereas the cracked is just right on top of each other. So depending on who you are and your hand size, that might be an issue, it might not. So, you know, it is what it is. And so that brings me to my final thoughts. I think that both of these products are magnificent products. If you use your Switch, or if you're actually looking to use your Switch, again, then this might reinvigorate your love for the Switch again. If you're kind of just waiting for the Switch 2, then that's also not a bad idea. But either way, I think that with the Switch being in its last year, it's done a lot to change the game, to change the formula of gaming. A lot of people now game handheld because of what the Switch did. I don't think we would have things like the ROG Ally X, a PC handheld where you can play, you know, NBA 2K25, Call of Duty, what else? God of War, things like that on a handheld. We've had PC handhelds. I'm not saying we didn't have PC handhelds. What I'm saying is they wouldn't have gone to the level that they are today, right? Now you have all of these PC handhelds being made. It's like every week there's a new one. Neo, Asus, Lenovo, Steam Deck, which was another player that revolutionized the space. So I think the price point for these two are kind of up there. I'm not gonna lie. The price point for both of these are up there at $79.99. And if you want to buy a case, that bumps the price up even more by like 20 bucks or so. And it's important for the build quality to be on point. So that was really it. The main purpose of this video was to compare both the cracked Nitro Deck and the MobaPad. And this was actually the first time I did a video comparing tech, or a tech accessory, a gaming tech accessory, on a live. But this video is going to go up as a regular video. So I just wanted to try something new, something different. I appreciate you guys who supported and watched. And if you can help me get to 1,000 subs, or just like the video if you're already subbed, then that would be truly appreciated. Trying to get to 1,000 subs by October, and just keep grinding on YouTube. So hopefully I'll be pushing out more content. If there's something that you guys want me to post content wise, gaming wise, whatever, let me know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about the MobaPad, about the Nitro Deck, about the PC handheld. Yeah, Bill, PC handhelds are fire, bro. PC handhelds are fire. Imagine playing 2K on the go. Even though 2K is rigged. But yeah, guys, I appreciate it. Until next time. Peace.